So Big Al, what do you think of when you think of springtime?
You know, I think of lagers.
Exactly. You know, some people think about all these flowers and blooming and new and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but it's that time of year again. We're getting excited. Springtime's coming. And to us, Charlie and Big Al, we think of lagers. So.
But don't tune out just because we're talking lagers, because this might actually be interesting. So Charlie, when you think about lagers, especially from the past when we were kids, there's still some out there that are still available, right?
Yeah, and that's crazy because I think of Hamm's.
Hamm's is a good one. Yeah. Stag.
Stag.
Yeah.
What about Old Milwaukee?
Yeah. There's original. There's Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
PBR is a cool kids call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the pro bull riding.
Yes,
yeah,
PBR is big.
I think there probably is some crossover there, though, between the two.
Oh, I'm sure.
Who else is going to get on a bull and ride it except for somebody that's having PBRs?
I mean, a few PBRs deep to do that.
But yeah, some of those old beers are still around.
Yeah.
It's cool.
And it's funny, you know, one of the other ones I think of is Lone Star.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was another beer.
Blast from the past?
Yeah, blast from the past. And you think about PBR, I grew up outside of Peoria, Illinois, and I remember as a kid driving through Peoria and seeing the old Pabst Blue Ribbon plant.
Yeah.
And then it's like when I got in high school, driving through it's gone.
Yeah. So interesting history about Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Well, it's hard to think that in 1844, which was 2 years before Milwaukee was even a city, a brewery started.
Right.
Yeah, back in 1844, Empire Brewery started. Well, then Jacob Best actually bought it and became Best & Company.
Yeah, the brewery was run by Jacob Sr. and his 4 sons, including Philip Best.
Which Philip Best took over the company in 1860 and actually changed the name to Philip Best & Company.
Oh, okay. So Best Company and then Philip Best.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Philip's daughter Maria met steamship captain Frederick Pabst in 1860 and married him 2 years later.
Well, then in 1864, Pabst actually purchased half of the brewery for $21,057 and some change.
Wow, that's crazy. That's like $423,000 by today's standards.
Is that not crazy?
A discount for a half a brewery.
Yeah, can you imagine buying a half a brewery for that kind of money? Even back then.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So after Pabst's second daughter's marriage, Lisette, to Emil Shandine, he actually ended up purchasing the other half of the brewery from
Philip.
Philip,
yeah.
Yes.
So that means 2 of Philip's daughters now and their husbands own the brewery.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they keep it in the family.
Yeah.
So in 1869, Philip Best & Company purchased Melm's Brewing, which at the time was the largest brewery in Milwaukee.
Yeah, now later that year, Philip Best died and Pabst and Shandine ended up taking over management of the company.
In the next 2 decades, the Best Brewery, later known as Pabst, grew at an enormous rate.
It's really hard when you call it the Best Brewery, because it's like, really, was it the Best Brewery?
Yeah. But when you got Philip Best,
That's true.
Brewery,
It's the best brewery.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got to give them, that was a
What
great
a motto.
Yeah. We're the best. Why? Because
right.
Best owns it.
Well, they did have that spectacular growth, and the reason was partially because of the Great Chicago Fire in 1871, which wiped out their competition and gave them another place to sell their beer.
Yeah, that makes for a huge advantage.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, the competitors in Chicago never really quite
They didn't recoup. Yeah, they couldn't recover from that. So by 1874, Philip Best Brewing Company became the nation's largest brewery.
Wow, that's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, it's hard to believe.
And so they lost their partner, Shandine, in 1888, and they renamed the company Pabst Brewing Company.
During Prohibition, Pabst stopped brewing beer and started producing cheese, and they actually produced over 8 million pounds of cheese known as Pabst-et.
Yeah, now when Prohibition ended, they went back to making beer and sold the cheese line to Kraft.
Pabst reached peak sales in 1978 before starting on a downhill spiral.
Yeah, but they're back, baby. Another good lager back.
Yep, back
Available in the
business.
stores. You bet. Well, Charlie, here we are. We got the PBR in the jar.
PBR in the jar. We just need to pull it out because it's not doing us any good in there.
That's true. Red, white, and blue.
Oh my gosh. Big Al pulled up a picture of this.
Oh yeah, you've probably never seen it before.
Yeah, you've probably never seen a Pabst Blue Ribbon before, but You know, this is the epitome of America.
American beer.
We're talking red, white, and blue. We're talking, well, let's talk about blue ribbons.
Yeah.
You know, blue ribbons back when we were kids even meant something.
Yeah, you had to do something to get a blue ribbon.
That was an achievement.
Yeah.
You did something, you tried, you accomplished, and you won.
Yeah.
Now, you know.
Nowadays, you drive there, you get out of your car, and you walk up and you say, "Where's my blue ribbon?"
I'm here, I want a blue ribbon. So we show up and say, we want a Pabst Blue Ribbon. But that's
well, yeah.
So
the kids that say that are, you know.
Yeah, they're special kids. But once again, this is a 16-ouncer.
16.
So, but we're excited, man.
America.
I couldn't tell you the last time I tried a Pabst Blue Ribbon. So we need to just stop yakking and start
cracking. That's right.
See what this.
Glad you went over here.
See what this baby does. Oh, look at that! It looks like beer.
Does it look like beer?
It does.
You know, they've been making this since 1844.
And you know that
should have it down.
You know what's crazy to think about is 1844. That's less than 100 years after this country was formed.
Yeah, it's crystal clear, Charlie.
Oh, it is.
I mean, if I'd have done a better job of washing these glasses, it would have been really crystal clear.
I got my fingerprint right there. You
yeah,
can see that.
Well, you know. What's it smell like?
It smells like beer.
It smells a little bit malty.
A little bit, yeah.
So we're looking at lagers.
Yeah.
And we thought this was kind of the epitome of an old classic lager.
Yeah. This is another American classic that basically disappeared, but now it's on a resurgence.
Yes.
So let's try a big swig of this Big Al. Now that's not what I remember when I was a kid.
Nothing fancy, but it tastes like a lager.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's a good lager. It's actually got flavor.
It's full flavored, yeah.
I mean,
I like it. It's refreshing.
I mean, that gets back to the label, the colors. I mean, that's an American classic.
Yeah. No, this isn't a light beer.
No.
For instance. But yeah, full flavored. I mean, you would expect if you went to Germany to the Oktoberfest and got a lager, they're going to be like this.
Right. Yeah.
Sure enough. Very nice.
Very nice. So, Big Al?
Charlie?
Here's to God, guns, and rock and roll. Amen.
Yep, good old American beer, just like it was meant to be.
Yep.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that, and we will get back to work and making another one here soon. Until then, don't forget, this is Charlie.
This is Big Al.
We'll see you. So, interesting story, or you know what? Not that interesting.
It's interesting.
It's mildly interesting.
It's a little bit.
Pretty much put out the businesses that were, I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Better.
It was perfect until I screwed it up.
Well, that's usually my job. The best brewery, later known as Pabst, just grew in expansion. During Prohibition, Pabst start making. During Prohibition, Pabst start brewing. Stop brewing.
Here.
Okay. I'm getting beer every time. So they sold.
So when Prohibition ended, they continued. Or what?
Okay, that was good.
We finally got there.